Hey everyone, today we are back with our F-16C beginner tutorial series. In the last video I mentioned that we're going to look at navigation today. Change of plans, we're going to do the overhead brake. I wanted to leave navigation for a more advanced video. This series is purely aimed at beginners. If you want to learn how to fly in a more realistic environment with realistic operating procedures, talking with ATC and stuff like that, then don't worry, it is coming, but for now I just want to keep it simple. Alright, so what is an overhead brake? An overhead brake is simply a way to recover high performance jets in a small amount of time. And what I mean by that is that in an active combat situation, you ideally want to limit the amount of time that the aircraft is in the air flying low and slow to the ground because, well, for one, they could be low on fuel after flying their sortie and not have time to be flying long-winded, slow approaches. And two, you're an easy target you can get shot at, which we don't want. So, looking at the diagram, you can see the pattern is similar to a regular traffic pattern that you might encounter when flying light GA aircraft, but carried out much faster. We aim to enter the pattern at 350 knots at 1500 feet AGL. Now this is important, we want to be 1500 feet above ground level, not sea level. That's this number in the F-16. These numbers will vary slightly at different airfields. So we want to fly slightly offset to the runway so we can visually check the condition and if there are any obstructions, debris or aircraft still vacating the runway. Once we fly over the threshold, we want to make a fairly steep turn to bleed off most of our airspeed, aiming to pull around 3.5 Gs throughout the turn. Once we go below the minimum gear speed of 300 knots, we can retract the landing gear and extend the air brakes. You will need to keep increasing back pressure and using nose up trim to keep the velocity vector aligned with the horizon. We're going to look back at the runway and judge when to roll out onto the downwind leg. Once the landing point is 15 degrees behind us, or in line with the missile rails, we can begin our final turn, and start descending at about 5 to 10 degrees. We roll out on a very short final, and within a few seconds we are starting the flare, and hopefully, ending up touching down at 13 degrees angle of attack, 150 knots. Okay, time to put it into practice. And here we are, beginning our approach. Remember, 150 knots, 1,500 feet AGL. And we're keeping slightly off centre as we fly over. And over the threshold we begin our turn to the left. Lots of back pressure to maintain our altitude. Gear coming down and I'm extending the air brakes. Looking back so I know when to round out. And rolling onto the reciprocal now. And once the landing point is in line with our missile rail, we're going to start our final turn, this time allowing the nose to drop anywhere from 5 to 10 degrees nose down. Now try not to focus on the numbers too much here. Getting this last turn on centerline is tricky, so keep your eyes on the runway and judge your rate of descent visually. Making sure our speed is around 170 here. Now I'm a little low, ideally we want 3 degrees descent rate at this stage. And throttles to idle, begin a gentle flare. Ouch, just a little rough. Holding the nose off the ground will help us slow down a lot quicker. And once the front wheels are down, you can hit the brakes and steer with your feet. Don't forget to engage the nose wheel steering once you're below 50 knots. And there you have it. That's my demo of an overhead brake in the Viper. I'm not an expert, but it should give you beginners a better idea of how to get your landing a little more consistent. I hope this helped. If it did, leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.